Have you ever heard the saying, everything happens for a reason? People have a really love-hate relationship with this one because the most important unasked question is who's actually creating that reason? If you are in the category of people who believe that the reason is for you to decide, you might find this to be a very empowering statement. So all the circumstances that unfold along your journey are essentially touch points that grant you permission to keep evolving. But there's also a shadow side to this belief system, and it's something that you might not realize is keeping you in these unconscious loops, because there's actually a very dark way to relate to the essence of everything happens for a reason. And that is if you use it as a cop-out from deeper spiritual evolution. If you use that statement to pacify your fears and to not look deeper into the heart of why, the reasons could be much deeper than your mind wants you to believe. For instance, when things unfold in life that are not something that you want to see coming, feeling like it's happening simply for a reason, to encourage you to perhaps collapse old standards, to learn, to piece together new possibilities, and ultimately come into contact with new people, situations, and opportunities. That might keep you in the trajectory of forward-moving action and changes that crystallize your ego into a more adaptable version of itself. Many people that believe everything happens for a reason are able to hold to this viewpoint because their self-awareness is ingrained. And how can they adjust themselves to feel safer and more comfortable in this world, regardless of what happens to them? In this scenario, what you'd be doing on a deep level is feeling like everything happening to you is affording you more ways of seeing yourself and then adjusting to any scenarios by choosing greater comfort. And such people often are very conflict avoidant. They're seekers of self-gratification and satisfaction, often in easy ways that keep their ego very satisfied about its ability to stay in control. In other words, people that use this notion that everything happens for a reason to keep strengthening their self-identification are not actually allowing a much deeper reason to emerge that would soften their ego, cause them to really look into the heart of where they might still be fragmented and incoherent in order to understand how are those parts of them actually creating their reality, and trying to inform them of where deeper healing needs to happen. The key consideration is that we are living in an entangled web of quantum fields and informational structures that allow us to interact with ourselves in real time, but via all of these relationships in reality. And the simplest example to boil all of this down is to literally analyze the essence of our relationships. If your relationships are illuminating a pattern of similarity, for instance, you consistently attract emotionally unavailable people, or people that mistreat you, don't know how to respect your feelings, or for instance, don't actually feel spiritually compatible with you once you get to know them. What this might look like on the surface is a certain pattern of negative relationships is coming into your field to teach you a lesson of how to choose better partners, or how to adjust yourself so that you don't experience the same kind of treatment going forward, perhaps by setting deeper boundaries or by learning to increase your standards. But the deeper pattern that really wants to be seen is not this convenient way of looking at the need for you to optimize your relationship strategy. It's actually to see the most uncomfortable truth amid the formation of that pattern, which is that a part of you might be emotionally unavailable, craving intimacy but being closed off to it deep down, afraid of really receiving love, which is why you end up attracting people that simply don't know how to give it. And yet through this deliberate quest for somebody that you want to have fill your cup, you end up feeling like the only way for you to fill it is by not outsourcing that need to anybody else. So life typically mirrors our deepest need in a way that is extremely inconvenient to experience firsthand, because the last thing that our ego wants us to feel is the demolition of a standard that allows us to feel completion through our externality. This pattern is one that is very difficult to sense on the surface without surrendering to the deeper parts of you that feel fear when those patterns come up. For instance, what could be the underlying cause of an issue that leads to persistent relationship patterns that are wounded in nature, or anything else that you know is happening to you time and time again? You might need to look at the conditions inside you that cause that to be something you continue to experience, namely emotions in you that haven't been felt and that are elicited when you look in the eyes of that pattern and start to question why it's making an appearance in your life. Until you're willing to uproot those emotional precursors, you're going to feel like the reason is something that's just existing on the surface of your reality, perhaps granting you experiential value or causing you to experience more of the same truths through different souls. At the end of the day, all of these seemingly different scenarios and people and events are just bringing you closer to the inescapable depth inside your own field. And in that space, you can either run from the truth because you might feel burnt by this fire that is awakened within you, or you can choose to come closer to it and to allow that fire to melt any of your fears, your personal inadequacies, and to actually mend these splits in your consciousness. Furthermore, patterns can present themselves in any areas of your life, and typically, these areas are entangled. For instance, if you have that avoidant aspect of yourself that attracts avoidant relationships, you likely also are avoiding certain parts of your body, including taking care of yourself in some ways, which could manifest health issues that follow a similarly patterned nature. Another thing is you would almost always experience schisms in other forms of relationships, including in the way that you contact the truth of reality. One part is always bringing you into deeper awareness of why it is that everything is unfolding in the way that it is. And that part never assumes that the reason behind everything happens for a reason is something external or extrinsic. In fact, from that integrative end of the spectrum, the reason would be clear. It would be self-evident based on the very feelings elicited by what is unfolding. If you were to feel that fully and allow yourself to digest who you are as a holographic projector of this experience, it would be clear that you're only creating what allows you to entangle more deeply with all these parts of yourself that want to be seen, felt, and known. That is the very nature of your experience. How you participate in reality has everything to do with how invested you are in your own experience of self-awareness. And so if you find yourself struggling to understand why these different things are happening to you, including who you attract, how you are able to relate to reality in a way that brings success or scarcity, on the other hand, and how able you are to express your energy, all of this really comes down to how comfortable you are witnessing and being with the expression of all these authentic parts of yourself. So let's say you think that you're expressing in an authentic way, but your reality is showing you something different. That is where the most important level of incoherence can be illuminated. The only way to really understand if you're in integrity and allowing yourself to show up fully, or whether you're still holding some lies or some incongruencies within your field, is to pay close attention to what in your life feels a little bit off. Where does it feel like you've done all the work, you seem to know yourself, you have the right intentions and priorities, but for some odd reason, certain bad things are still happening to you? If you go deeper into the quest for that answer, the self-evident truth of where you need to come more home to yourself and respect what it is that needs to be filled in your inner world will make itself clear. This doesn't mean that you are derailing in your life if you have been attracting things that feel problematic, if there are health issues, if relationships are a challenge, or if anything else feels outside of your control. This is not something to blame yourself for. At no point should you resort to attaching to a belief like everything happens for a reason to make yourself feel better about a life that feels somewhat divorced from what you really want to experience. This can't be a strategy for spiritual bypassing, and actually, that's where it becomes the most dangerous myth to uphold. Everything is not happening for a reason if you don't actually feel connected to that reason, because that's where the deepest incongruency lives. If you try to fool yourself into believing one thing that other parts of you don't really agree with. And so, understanding both ends of that and moving into the opposite end of the spectrum that isn't integrated is where you're going to find all the deep fuel for your evolution. So try to feel into that. On that end of the spectrum, where you feel completely confused about the reason, where there are still elements of you that exist in victimhood, where you don't want to participate in reality, you might feel parts of your own personality that seem completely antithetical to who you are on a deeper level. These are the parts of you that literally play the anti-hero role in the hero's journey of your life experience. These are parts of you that are masking your potential, coping with pain, trying to shield you from trauma by actually avoiding the trauma that's already happened. And if you convince yourself that things are happening for a reason prematurely without actually believing in what those reasons are bringing up for you to feel and to welcome as deeper awareness, then you're going to find yourself feeling like you are holding that compressed, fragmented, unintegrated part of you deep inside yourself and actually building a shell of false identification with that reason that you want to believe. And in that, you can develop the most spiritual ego identity that will actually keep you from further evolution. At that point, life will spiral around one focal point of awareness that you are missing. And likely you end up experiencing the exact same patterns, making it impossible to actually evolve in any one of these departments of your journey. Your love, your finances, your health, all of these aspects will feel like they're disconnected because it's pointing you again to where you are disconnected from understanding the heart of this entire field. Now, what's in that heart, in that central position? Imagine you have an axis mundi in your field of consciousness, in your map of awareness. And then ultimately, what makes you you? That focal point is like the equator of your reality, and you need to feel comfortable being there, narrowing into yourself as a being that is conscious and that is able to take in awareness that sometimes isn't comfortable, that causes you to stretch your beliefs, and to feel like you are integrating elements of the cosmos that are presenting themselves to you and through you for a reason that you have yet to fully uncover. That's the part that will humble you deeply. Because if you can let in that there's always a reason beyond what your mind is capable of comprehending, you're going to find yourself melting into this cosmic awareness of the human mystery, why we're all here, why we're choosing evolution in a way that exceeds the capacities of our mind, because we know that in time, surrendering to that is what will take us home. That's a reason that allows you to approach life a lot more curiously and with the kind of humility of a child that asks deeper questions and also surrenders to the mystery, which is the sacred feminine principle that often is what's missing and that keeps us from feeling at home inside ourselves. When you yield to this ineffable part of your life journey, you can also start to connect the dots of what in the past you haven't been able to understand, including some of the deeper mysteries that have felt traumatic, parts of you that have not felt understood by other people, and elements of you that you actually know need to be safeguarded, but not by keeping them away from your physical experience. But that isn't going to be something that's immediately apparent. You more need to test the limits of your consciousness by really endeavoring to feel, where have you not felt certain elements that are now driving you to experience extremes that bring you into that feeling state? And how perhaps have you been avoiding certain parts of you that are simply unescapable? And for that reason, you end up feeling like life is pushing you into circumstances that you would rather not experience. It is such a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to reset yourself by feeling what the mirror of consciousness is showing you from all these different angles. Because the average person has so many blind spots that they simply have no way of knowing who they are without these complex scenarios that show them who they are based on what life throws them. So imagine that all of these things that seem outside of your control are intentional curveballs that give you the ability to know more deeply. How will you show up when life is showing you all these different angles of yourself that come out relationally through how you respond to pain, through whether conflict triggers you, how you associate with yourself in scenarios that might throw you for a loop unless you feel really confident being your authentic self. All of those things would not be known unless you'd be in this active, mirroring field of awareness that allows you to appreciate who are you on the absolutely deepest level. If you want to quantum shift into a new evolutionary arc of your journey, my suggestion would be to ask yourself, what lesson or lessons are continually arising that you fear to uncover? What lessons are driving you into this expansion of consciousness that feels the most unsafe and the most cathartic because it's driving you into a place where your nervous system is showing, literally where that tension has been stored in your body and where your field has been rearranged around that initial pain point? You might literally be living your life in avoidance of going into that very part of you that holds the gem of divine intelligence, where you'd be able to understand the reason behind all of this was to not fear those aspects of you that want to be seen the most. Yet your shielding of that and your avoidance of uncovering the deeper lesson could be causing you to deal with infinite lessons that show up in different ways to test your inner resolve. But then the deeper consideration is, do you really want to be living a life of that kind of avoidance and attachment to circumstances and egoic shielding because you're afraid of unlocking what it is that you're really here for? Or, on the other hand, are you ready to approach things so sensitively that you don't feel discouraged by those lessons, and you see that all of them are shining a light on where you can be your better self, to help you master what most people are frankly so afraid to understand that they keep themselves in disguise and don't allow there to be that deeper emergence of self-awareness. This is the most courageous part of the spiritual journey, in my opinion, because it requires that you test yourself even when you feel that you are complete, as you bring into focus all the other parts of you that will keep expressing until you do. The living intelligence that we're constantly entangling with is recycling lessons and materials so that we stop dismissing parts of us that need to come into this picture, that desire expression, and that allow us to occupy our own living field of awareness most intentionally. And so whenever you doubt why it is that something is happening to you, let the reason not just be this generic blanket statement that everything is happening for a reason. Actually get curious about why it is that a particular angle is being reflected back to you, why you are showing yourself through the eyes of consciousness, that there's more in you to be uncovered, that there's sacred grounds for evolution if you want to actually expand beyond what you think you know and everything that you think you are, in order to embody even more of where your soul is trying to take you. Only in that way can you graduate from consistent karmic lessons and the cycling of various situations to bring you reactions and enter a space of true dharma, inner expansion via fulfillment of what it is that your soul is rooting for you to attain. At that point, coherence is the highest form of intelligence. It's the path that allows you to experience awareness, love, and freedom